Hey girl. Okay, so I'm going to go through your website and give you some feedback here. Um, and I will say I haven't gone through it yet, so this is my first time kind of walking through, and I like to do that because I want to give sort of like a first impression, like first thoughts, as if I were looking at this from a client's perspective, because ultimately that's all that matters. Um, okay, so first thing I noticed, and I think yes. Okay. So your website is Squarespace, and I had the same comment on someone else's page that had almost the exact same layout. Is that there's too much white space when you first come to your website. It feels like all I'm seeing is your logo, and I think that you want to see more of like this when you first log in. So I don't know if there's a way to eliminate some of the space up here or move your logo down. But I feel like there's too much wasted space here because when someone comes to your website, everything above the fold, so the fold is where the page ends without having to scroll. So everything above the fold, that is what you want. That's like your prime real estate. That's where you want your key things to be. Because a lot of people aren't going to scroll. So you want to give them everything you can give them on that first impression. And this just has too much empty space. I do love your logo. It's very clean and simple. It's really nice. And the other thing I'll say about your homepage here is that I feel like this is too much. This feels like a portfolio page. And I think that for a homepage, it doesn't need to feel like a portfolio. It needs to feel like a simple, like 6 photos. Let me show you one that I did with a girl yesterday. And so we did the same thing. She had the same type of situation. She had like a long scrolling page, and we got it down to like a 6 grid. And what helps there is that there's really no need to go any further down. So you could do the same thing and have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then have like 2 other verticals. So you could do like this one's really cute. I like that one, or the baby toes is cute. That's really pretty. I would kind of choose like a theme, like if, and I'll look at your work in a minute. So families, babies, maternity. So I would focus on 2 babies, 2 families, 2 maternity. So you could have a baby here and a baby here, a family here, a family here. What was the other one? Maternity here and maternity. So that way people can see right off the bat, like, oh, this is what she does. Because again, the whole idea is you want them to know what you do, who you are. So let me back up. They want to know who you are, what you do, and how much you cost, and how to get a hold of you. So this seems kind of overwhelming, and I'm like, oh my gosh, well, I don't know exactly what it is that you do necessarily. So limit this down to like maybe 6 and don't have it scroll so far down. Also on your homepage, add your location. So down here at the bottom somewhere, add a footer that tells people like where you're located. Okay, let's go on to the about. So I don't think you need a drop down for that because I feel like I should be able to just click on about and it take me there. So see if you can get rid of that drop down and just have it click on the about page. Okay, I'm going to scan through this real quick. Okay, so I love that you have the photo of you here. I think that's really important because people want to connect with a face and put a face to a name. And that helps them know too, like if you're meeting them on site for a session, they know who to look for, which sounds kind of strange, but I've had lots of brides who I meet with at a coffee shop to do a consultation, and they are looking for the version of me that they saw on my website. So I love that you have your photo there. Okay. On your about me though, one thing I will say is I think you have too much that is sort of what I call like the no shit like information, like, well, yeah, like no kidding that you like photography. You're a photographer. Like that's what you've chosen to do for a living. I would hope that you enjoy it. So I would take your about me section and I would make it more about you as a person. Our clients want to connect with us, and not just us as the photographer, but us as like a person. Because when they're hiring you, they're not hiring a big corporation. They're hiring an individual person to do their photo shoot. And so they want to know who you are. Like what makes you you? Do you love the outdoors? Are you a traveler? Do you like to read? Are you a coffee junkie? Do you love margaritas? Like, give them something that they can relate to, because that's what's going to want them to, that's what's going to cause them to want to hire you and want to know more about you. Because if it's just about the pretty pictures, they can go to any photographer out there. But if it's about you as a person, then they're going to want to feel connected. Oh, sorry, I walked away from my computer too far. They're going to want to feel connected to you. So you can leave in some of the stuff about like how you got into photography, but then I would add in more about like who you are. Like, I don't know anything about you. Like, are you a wife? Are you a mom? Do you like to read? Do you like to drink wine? Do you like, I don't know. I want to know more about you as a person. So that's my long rambling way of saying that. Okay, I'm going to skip over blog for just a second and go to work. Okay, so you have portfolio, and then you have families, babies, maternity. So I'm going to click on this and see where it takes me. Okay, so this basically takes me back to that front page. So that was a portfolio. So what I would suggest, and I'm going to say this as I kind of click through some of these because I want to see before I say it out loud. Sorry, I'm fixing my lunch as I'm doing this, so don't mind the rustling in the background. Okay, so this is families. All right, so I will say I feel like a portfolio needs to have a little more to it so that people get a pretty good idea. Like, you want your clients to be able to look at the photos and go, I can see myself in that photo. And so you want to give them a variety of things to look at. And I think you had some on your homepage that were really good family shots that aren't on this page that you could include. So I would go back and I would kind of ramp up your galleries a little bit. Your photos are beautiful. I think that you've got really great connection in a lot of your photos, and kind of those candid, joyful moments that families are looking for. As far as editing goes, I think that your color images look amazing. Like this one, I absolutely love. This one is beautiful. And this one, the colors are soft and it's very true to life, which I think is great. The ones that I'm having an issue with are your black and whites. This one's not bad. I feel like it needs more contrast. And these two, it gives me the feel of that sepia tone filter you find on a phone. So I don't love those. They're also kind of soft, and so they don't have a whole lot of pop to them. And for me, I feel like if I'm going to go black and white, I want it to really pop. So I would say editing wise, I think your style is great. I think that your images are really emotion filled and they're joyful, and I love that. You've got the connection there. The posing is good. I would just say work on, if anything, your black and white editing, or take the black and whites out of your portfolio. That's totally a personal preference. I don't show a lot of black and whites because I tend to primarily edit in color. So I just don't post a lot of black and whites to my my galleries. In fact, I'm trying to think. I don't even know if I have any black and whites on my galleries. Okay, so let me go to babies. So you have a lot more here, which I love. And I like that you show sort of the unposed and then a few of the posed as well. So you're showing your ability. This one's beautiful. You're showing your ability to kind of do both. Again, I feel like your black and whites need just a little something extra, but your color ones are fabulous. Any of these photos, I would love to have of my own, babies. It's making me wish I had done photos like this when my little ones were born. Okay, maternity. Very nice. So the other thing I would say is, if you feel like that your style has evolved over time, because I'm seeing a completely different editing style here than I am here, don't be afraid to take out old photos. This one I don't love, mainly because the background's really distracting and the lighting is super bright. So I would say like this one can get out, this one you can take out. The rest of them I think are fine. But even if it means you are limited on how many photos you have in your portfolio, I would rather you have fewer photos that you love showing off than a bunch that you don't love. So I would just go through and just kind of really narrow down like your best images, because those are the ones you want to sell people on. Okay, upcoming events. I'm assuming this is, okay, so this is like mini sessions, things like that. So I like this. I like that you kind of have it as like special events, upcoming events. I think that's neat. I wouldn't change anything really about that too much, unless you wanted to change the wording of upcoming events to like special events, but I think upcoming events is just fine. All right, let me look at your blog. Again, I think everything just, I don't know if it's like the header, but the logo just takes up so much space. See if you can't minimize that a little bit, all that negative space. Okay, so on your blog, one thing I will say is that I think for blogs, the best way to showcase a blog is to not have to scroll through an entire blog post to get to the next blog post. And this photo is huge. It's adorable, but it's so big that then I'm like, well, okay, do I keep going? Is that it? So if there's a way to take this and make it into like thumbnails instead of a full blog post, I think that's going to be easier for people to navigate. Okay, contact. Perfect. So they just have like a quick little form. I would say put this contact form, a link to it on every single page. So like on your About Me section, when they get here, put something like, I would love to chat with you, contact me today and we'll start planning your dream session or something, like contact, some easy way for, like, I know you have these little buttons down here, but make it as simple as possible. Like if you can put like a big box that says like, let's chat, and then it links to their, your contact page or something. And the same thing at the end of every blog post, when you get down here, put a little thing that says like, are you interested in booking a session or want to know more about, your dream session, whatever, contact me. So that no matter where people are on your page, same thing with your portfolio pages, no matter where they are, they have a way to get a hold of you. So if I'm down here at the bottom of a gallery, and I'm thinking, okay, I like her work. It's beautiful. I want a photo just like this of my family. Now what? Make it super easy. Put right down here, ready to book your family session or have questions about, family session details, contact me and we'll start, and today and let's chat. Just put it everywhere you possibly can, because I have found that when I added a contact button to almost every single page of my website, I started getting more and more emails because it was easier for people to get a hold of me. They didn't have to search my site. And I know you have the button here, but again, if I'm all the way down at the bottom of a page, or if I'm on your blog and I'm, way down here in the middle of a blog post, I want to be able to click a button and contact you. And so I don't want to have to like go, where was that contact button again? Blah, blah, blah. So I think keeping it, I like that your menu is super simple. And I know that, like, again, the contact button's right here. It would seem obvious, but I think the more, I don't want to say like treat your viewers as if they're not capable of finding the contact button. But again, like, make it as simple as you possibly can so that people have no reason to click off your website without contacting you. So those are just my main things. I think your website overall, it's very easy to navigate, which is great. It's very simple, which is, I love. Again, keep everything above the fold that you can. So on your, I guess you can click this. Okay. So I was trying to get back to the home page. Try to eliminate this white space. Make your home page just a simple, like 6-image grid of your best 6 images. Get rid of this drop down for the about. Add your contact me button everywhere that you can. Other than that, I think everything looks great. I don't see any major issues with anything. I think you're on the right track. As far as mentoring goes, so I'll give you a little bit of a kind of a rundown of how my mentoring works. So basically what I do is we would set up a time for us to get together, and my mentoring sessions for the first meeting, I have a 2-hour minimum. That just ensures that 2 hours, and a lot of times, that's even like cutting it close depending on how much we talk. But 2 hours is the minimum, just because that gives us time to really dive into your business and different things you can implement, and let me walk you through and show you different ways of doing things. And so before your session, I would send you a questionnaire that you fill out that tells me more about your business. Obviously, I've seen your website, but more about like how many sessions are you booking, what's your rates. Oh, that's the other thing, is there's no information on your website about session prices. Add that. You need something on here like a details page that talks about like what they are getting when they come to you. Because I don't know why I didn't think of that. But you want people to know, like, well, okay, I like you and I want to book you for my newborn session because I want a photo similar to this of my baby, but I don't even know how much you cost. Like, are you $5,000? Are you $50? Are you $150? Like, I need some kind of range. So definitely put that on there. Like, even if it's just as simple as like on your portfolio, on your family's page, you start off with a paragraph talking about your family sessions and what they can expect and a starting price, or, how much your session fee is or whatever, something that gives them information. I think that's the only thing that's lacking here is you have a lot of visual stuff on here, but not a lot of content stuff that can help clients want to know, or that will give them information they want to know about you. Okay, so sorry, I got sidetracked. Back to the mentoring. So I look through your business. I look over your pricing, your sessions that you're booking, any issues that you're having, things you're struggling with, and then I come up with like a pre-mentoring session game plan of things that we're going to talk about, things we're going to go over for your personal business, and how I can help you get things implemented. So I know you said like you're in marketing and PR, and so you have an idea of how to do marketing. But I think that and I don't know what kind of marketing you do in your day-to-day job, but I think for marketing your small business, there's it's a little bit different than marketing like for a large company or with bigger brands. And so a lot of it is marketing, education-based marketing. So it's a lot of, getting your clients to understand why they should book a session, what's the value in it, how is this going to make their lives better, kind of thing. And so those are the kinds of things I can kind of walk you through, and I give you tangible things you can do. So you're not just walking away with this giant idea box. You're walking away with like a step-by-step kind of plan of like, okay, I need to do this, and then I need to work on this, and then I can do this. And I'm not going to lie, it may feel overwhelming, but I do kind of help you like break it down into like easy to digest. Like, don't look at the 20 things I went over today. Look at like, okay, I'm going to start with this. And then once I've accomplished that, I'm going to move on to the next one. And so that's kind of my goal. And again, with my mentoring sessions, it's not something that's like a one-off thing. Like, I don't expect you to come in for 2 hours and walk away and never hear from me again. Like, if you ever have questions, or you take an advice I've given you and you say, hey, I implemented this, will you check it and see what you think? Or will you make sure it's working? Or will you give me feedback? I'm more than happy to do that. I'm here to help you in that way. And I do have some mentoring clients who will every couple months do like a 1-hour little check-in where we kind of go, okay, I've implemented this and it's working. Now what do I do next? Like, what's the next step? Like, how do I take it to the next level? So that's always an option too. But I would be happy to chat with you some more. I think that you are off to a good start. I definitely think that your work is strong, and that it's worth obviously being compensated for. So I just want to help you get more business so that you can have more work to show, get more clients in there. One thing I'm going to look at really quick, I want to look over at your Facebook page. I'm just curious. Oh, I love this. Introducing yourself. That's awesome. And see, this is the kind of thing that I feel like needs to be on your About Me page. And talking about like binging Netflix, Bachelor, oh, love Bachelor, sipping wine, editing photos. That's what people want to know. So this should be on your website, not just your social media. This is perfect. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I can definitely help you too with the vamping up your social media and getting that going, all the things. So I hope this helps. I hope I haven't just like rambled on in your ear. I apologize if I tend to over talk a lot. But I hope this helps. Let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Have a great day. Bye, girl.